In the favor of Noprias, I would like to welcome all the attendees here. So it's already 6:04. I am starting right now. Okay. We have been waiting for others to join this session, and it was scheduled at 6 o'clock, and it's already 6:04. So we are starting this counseling session from now. And I would request all the attendees that kindly mute yourself, because if you unmute and some background noise is coming, so it will create a disturbance for all of you and for us also. So it will be difficult to organize this thing. Okay. And get ready with the pen and paper. You can take notes, and you can take a screenshot as well. Okay. So here now Priyas presents webinar on JOSA counseling. Uh, good evening to all of you. This is Ravi Kumar, a student of third year pursuing IT. Today I am here to host this session, and in this session we will make you aware about various aspects regarding JOSA counseling and provide you with valuable insights. Several students from various colleges will be speaking up today in this session to guide you through the process of counseling for this year. As a disclaimer part, I would like to say that through Noprayas, its members and volunteers are trying best to provide you best counseling support and guidance, and we hold no liability or responsibility for any issues, errors, misinformation that creep in while counseling in this group, outside the group, and anywhere. Please take your final decision at your own discretion. Uh, this session will go like this. Uh, at first, we will know about this organization, Now Prayas, and then we will move to the main part of this session where we will explain about rules and guidelines of JOSA 2020, and then we will know what are the factors to be considered uh, while selecting colleges and branches, and how to fill them on the portal, and college preference or branch preference. Everything we will be covering up in this session. And then we will give you idea about some new colleges which had been included in the recent years, which you might have heard the name but could not get the information. And then we would be clearing some dots which have already been asked by students in the form, Google form, which we have provided in the group. And uh, now I would like to invite Mr. Ranjit Kumar. He will be introducing you all to Nopriyas, and he is an executive member of Nopriyas since 2013, currently working at City Corp Services, Pune. So over to Mr. Ranjit Kumar.
Thank you, Ravi. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Executive member, or I started with Naupriyas as a volunteer itself. That was in the year of 2030. Uh, I joined college in 2012, and the next year I joined Naupriyas. Before that, Naupriyas has been there for starting from 2000. Okay, so it's like. Uh, Sorry, if everyone can go on mute, that would be helpful for everyone. Okay, thank you. I'll be talking about Naupriyas, what it is, what we do. Currently, I am working in City Corp Services at Pune. And just to give you a reference, I did my BTech from Electrical and Electronics Engineering department from NIT Surathkal. Whoever is doing, we all know your name comes on your screen, right? So Hari Om, if you could not do that, this is to help people, right? People have come here to get some support. There are some people who really need this. So I would suggest you not to do this, right? As a person. Okay. Anyway, thank you. I would be introducing you to Naupriya. So Naupriyas, as a Hindi word, is called New Effort, right? This is just a voluntary organization which has been established in the year of 2000. The whole motive behind this organization was to uplift the native society, we started our major focus is always Manpur Patwatoli, which is situated in Gaya, Bihar. So we most of the people who are the working members of Navpriyas who we all reside in Gaya, Bihar. Okay, and our the focus was to have the upliftment in education, social, and moral aspects. This why we created this group, who are the creators and all. We'll not be talking about that in detail because the session is going to be long, and I'm pretty sure there are lots of people who need introduction of Noprias, not more than what they need in the JOSA counseling. So we'll be targeting that for the major part. Just to give you a brief, Noprias is the one who is felicitating you to get the more information, because the only reason we are doing this, we saw people facing issues while they were creating or the listons or going for the counseling. They did not have much idea what college and where to select for. There are lots of factors. Once you start doing it, you will get to know. And this is just a helping hand which we are trying to provide you uh, to get a benefit of out of that, right? So just to talk about any exam, right? So this particular exam which we do is like two parts there are, or two phases of the exams there are. First phase is scoring the marks or the ranks which you have already got, right? The next phase which comes now is using those marks that you have hard earned, right? Uh, those marks which you have hard earned, now using it most efficiently, right? How and what you will do to use this most efficiently, that we will be guiding you, right? uh, so again, I do not see that people are taking my comments seriously. I don't think this is a matured behavior, right? Excuse me if I'm being right, but I do not see that you should be doing that. We are here to help you guys, right? Yep, because a few others are also getting affected, and just be mature, okay? We just want that from you guys, okay? So yeah, a very big congratulations to all of you, like who had scored numbers. Like I'm pretty sure you guys are feeling happy, your families are feeling happy about this, right? And this is a big milestone for your career and your life. So use it wisely. The ranks which or the mic marks which you have got, right? And you will see what you can do with those marks, right? Hard-earned marks are there, which should be used efficiently, and we are here to guide you.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you for introduction to Noprias. Now we will come to the main part of the session, and that is we are focusing on the JOSA counseling thing. So we will start with Mr. Shiva Kumar, who will be introducing you all with rules and guidelines of JOSA. Over to Mr. Shiva Kumar.
Hello everyone. Am I audible, Ravi?
Yes, you are audible.
Yep. So, hello everyone. I am Siva Kumar and currently pursuing BTech in Information Technology from NIT Raipur. Today, I will be explaining you about some important rules and guidelines about JOSA counseling. So, JOSA is responsible for conducting counseling for admission of students in triple ITs, NITs, IITs, and GFTIs. This year, a total of 111 institutes are participating. So you have to had qualified GMAN for participating in JOSA counseling, and also J Advance if you wanna apply for IITs. So there will be 2 mock seat allocations and 6 round of seat allocations this year. Mock allocations are not actually actual seat allocations, but they give an idea about what college and branch you might get according to your field choices and preferences. So it is highly recommended to complete your choice filling before first mock allocations happen, so that you might notice errors or some problem in preferences you are having. Um, and you also must lock your choices before the last date, or otherwise it will be locked automatically. So now these are some basic things that you must know. So now uh, when the counseling starts and you are actually allocated any seats, say in first round or second round, you will have three options. Means you will be getting three options: freeze, float, slide. We will know what these are one by one. So there will be three options. First will be free. First is freeze. So if you opt for freeze, means if you opt for freeze, then you will be means it will be like you are agreeing with what you have got, and you will like to keep the seat. Means for example, if you got CSC in NIT Trichy and you want to keep it, you want to go to further rounds, so you have to opt for freeze. And now otherwise you have float option. So now float option in if you opt for float options, you will be getting anything. You can participate in further rounds, and you will be getting anything uh, of your choices which are on the upper part of the allocated seat. Means say you are allocated um, say in NIT Suratkal you are getting mechanical in this round, but you want to upgrade to NIT Trichy CSE, and you are expecting that it can happen. So you must opt for float option, so that you must also have had filled NIT Trichy CSE in the upper part from the this like mechanical NIT Suratkal. Okay. So next is slide option. So if you opt for slide option, you it's like in the same institute, like for example, you got mechanical in NIT Suratkal, and you want CSE in NIT Suratkal only. There then you will have to opt for slide option. You will be getting your seat will be upgrading in the same institute. Means if you opt for slide option and then you want your college to be changed, then it is not possible. um, so these were all freeze, float, and slide. You will be getting this three option, and you will have to opt for one if you are getting us if you are already allocated a seat. So there is another counseling after JOSA ends. That is CSAB, Central Seat Allocation Board, that you are saying. Means it is not for IITs. It is for NITs, IIST, triple IITs, and other GFTIs. Means everything apart, everything which participate in JOSA apart from IITs. So actually, what happens that once the all the rounds of JOSA counseling ends, like this year, it is 6 round. After the 6 rounds and admission takes place, there are still some vacant seats in some colleges. So to fill that vacant seats, CSAB was introduced. So there are two rounds in CSAB. First is CSAB supernumerary and CSAB new counseling. Okay, so seats which couldn't be allocated to any students in JOSA counseling, only those seats are available for counseling in CSAB. And as these are means chances of getting good branch and good college in CSAB rounds are very less, because good branch and good college in good colleges are already preoccupied by students. Means those seats are not available for CSAB after that. Still there are some chances for people who didn't get that. In CSAB counseling, you will have to means once you reach college, once you go to college for, or this year it will be online for admission procedure. There you have to opt for option that you want to participate in CSAB or not. You can participate in CSAB on your will. If you are participating in CSAB, you have to pay some extra fees, and your admission fees you will not need to pay your admission fees then. Um, so after that, you can opt for like you will have to pay some extra fees if you wanna keep that seat. Means for example, you are getting NIT Suratkal and you wanna participate NIT Suratkal CSC, and you wanna participate in CSAP counseling. So you will have two options that you wanna keep this or not. Means you wanna keep this branch and college or not. If you wanna keep this branch and college, then you will have to pay some more fees, and you also can you will have to pay less fees if you don't wanna keep this branch and college. If you don't want to keep this branch and college, it will automatically be mixed, be considered as vacant seat for CSAB. Uh, a detailed fee structure is available in business rules. You may refer that. Uh, uh, means those fee structure is in detailed manner that is covering all the scenarios that you might be having in. You might read it and you will understand it easily. It is easy to understand. So next. Uh, So now it's about schedule of this JOSA counseling. So as we all know, October 6, 10 a.m. means today morning, the JOSA counseling have already started, and there is a 10-day window, October 6 to October 15, to fill in the choices. Okay. List of colleges and branch in priority. Means you will have to fill priority wise. Your most preferred college should be at the top, and the least preferred college should be at the bottom in your list. Okay. Priority was that you will have to fill. um, make sure that you don't make mistakes in filling those choices, because once you fill these choices and you lock them, you can do nothing. You will not be allowed to change that in subsequent rounds. So next is and there are two mock allocation, as I earlier said. It will be happening in between this 10-day window, October 6 to October 15. You will try to complete your list of preferences. Try to complete your list of preferences before the mock allocation happens, because in mock allocation you will be getting an idea about how and what branch and what college you can get. So it will be helpful. And make sure you do that within the 10-day window. Means all the errors should be handled. And make sure you are ready before 10-day window, because it will not be extended. And by 10-day window, consider the time also, because if there it is written that 5 p.m., it means 5 p.m. It won't be changed. And try to fill only those choices in the list which you are willing to join, because if you get anything that you are not willing to join, it will be tough for you. It won't be good for you actually. Because by chance if you get that and you don't want to study that, for example, you don't want to study, means you don't like chemistry and you get admission in chemical, and you don't want to be in chemical, but in final round you are getting chemical. And then it won't be good for you, because you don't want to get that, and you can do nothing after that. So next phase. So seat withdrawal. Means once you applied for counseling, you can also withdraw your seat, but that is allowed from second round to fifth round this year only. Means you can withdraw. Means this year there is 6 round. Before 6 rounds you can withdraw the seats. Means you don't want to participate further in this counseling. You don't want to get admission in NITs, triple ITs, or IITs, or anything like that. So there is no you will be refunded your amount of money that you have paid. Um and there will be no option once the for IITs. There won't be an option of withdrawal after the last seat allocation have been announced. That is actually obvious that after you got getting it for admission, means you will have to get admitted there, uh, in the college or branch that you are getting in the sixth round. Okay. So next one is okay. So many students must have had already registered here. So I will be making you a walkthrough through all the steps that you are gonna face, and all the screen. I have taken screenshots of all the steps in the uh, choice filling. So at first you will have to register for the JOSA counseling round. So here you can register by logging into this. You have to fill JMN application number there. After that you have to fill your password that you must be having. And then security pin is written at the just below that. That is at U2K, that is case sensitive. Fill it as it is. So after you log in into your account, you will be seeing a screen like this. So there are some important instructions that you must read. And Just read that, and these are very common instructions, and uh, click on I agree to proceed further. After you click I agree, you will be seeing a screen like this, and see at the top right, there will be your name will be mentioned. Check it is your name only. The box there will be your name. So now you will, after you click on I agree, you will be seeing this screen. Here you will have some data will be available, like your father's name, category, birth, from which cannot be edited, and your rank also will be there. uh, Rank of everything, all the exams that you have qualified, means GMAIL, B planning, G advanced, or everything. Okay, and the four of the data can be edited. That is gender, nationality, passing place of class 12 or equivalent, or state of eligibility. Means if you have made any mistake, like you are female but you have filled in male, then here you can change to female. Means if you don't change it here, and means if you don't change it here, for example, you are male but you have filled in female, and you get a seat in female category, so your seat will be cancelled automatically. Means you cannot report there. So other is nationality. Means if your nationality have changed in the period of your means you failed your exam, and right now, then you can change that. And then is state of eligibility. You can change these things if you want. In the passing place of class 12, you have to write either within India or outside India. Means you are for a student from any foreign countries or from India. Then after marking the checkbox, you can click on the submit and review. So after clicking on submit and review, you will see a screen like this. Uh, so here there is an option, that is the green button, there is edit credentials, and the blue button, that is confirm registration. If you made a mistake in previous page, anything you filled which was actually wrong, and you can edit your credentials right now. If everything is all right, you can click on confirm registration to proceed further. After clicking confirm registration, you will see a screen like this. So this is your final window that you will be having. So you can see that total available choices in blue box, failed choices, unfailed choices, and choices locking status, means you can lock the choices. There will be four options. Okay, so total available choices, there are 423 choices right now available to the student, from which this have been taken. If you have also qualified for advance, the number of your choices will be more. uh, these are available choices only if you haven't qualified for J advance, and means you don't have qualified J advance, um, but you have qualified G means. And in the left you can see there is candidate profile, choice available, choice filling, and choice locking. You will have to fill all these, means you have four options. You can by going into candidate profile, you can see your details and choices available. If you click on choices available, you will getting all the choices available for you to fill. Like here there are 423 choices, you will be getting all the choices there. And there is choice filling and choice locking. So you can also lock your choice and unlock choice, because you can do locking and unlocking choices before you finally submit it. And there is choice filling. Once you click choice filling, you will have to click on choice filling to fill your choices. So once you click on choice filling, you will be getting a screen like this. Next slide. So you will be getting a screen like this. Means initially it would be empty. Means on the left there is available choices, and on the right there are failed choices. Initially the right portion will be completely empty. Means you will have to add. Click on add to add something here. um, Once you add, it will add from this side, means available choices, it will appear on the right side. And there are option of remove up and down. Means up, you can move the choice preference up by one step and down by one step. And you can also click remove to remove the choices completely. Here you can filter the colleges or branches, available choices. You can filter available choices by college or branch. You can see at the top there are all institution types, means types like IITs, GFTIs, etc. and all. By that filter you can filter all of that. And all institutes, in the all institute part, you can directly go to any college, means type the name of any college and go see all the branches available there. Or you can filter that by branch, like all in the all program section you can fill the branch, and after filling the branch, you all the available choices from that branch will be available in the available choices field. Okay. So this is how you will have to fill. When the counseling starts, means say round one, what do they previous slide please. Previous slide please. uh, uh, Actually, from top to bottom they go, they will see if you are getting your first preference, your second preference, your second third preference, or fourth preference, like that they go. They will give you, means whatever you are getting in from that list, you will get that. If you haven't filled something that you are getting in this round, like first round, you will directly move to second round, and you won't be getting in the first round. For the subsequent sixth round, if you don't get any seat, means you are not getting a seat. So for getting any seat, you have to fill something that you are eligible for, and for that you have to check yourself, find yourself in the opening and closing rank of previous years. By considering that, you have to fill this list. Okay. So next slide. So that is all you will have to do, and this is a list of documents to be uploaded by candidates for registering online or reporting. Okay. So that was for IITs, means you are getting in the round you get IITs, and here it is for NITs. And oh, this is for IIT, that was for NIT plus system. Okay. And now for uh, okay, this is for NIT system. So
Hello. Yeah, thank you, Siva Bhaiya.
Mhm.
So now we will proceed this session, and we will get to know about the business rules of JOSA. And I would like to invite my friend Mr. Sagar Kumar, who will be introducing you all. Over to Sagar.
Thank you, Ravi. Mm.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, myself Sagar Kumar from Triple IT Allahabad, currently pursuing BTech in Information Technology. Okay. Uh, Next slide, please. Okay, I am here to discuss the business rules and legal doubts regarding DOSA counseling. Uh, Next slide. Okay. First of all, who are participated in DOSA counseling? No. Candidates who are qualified in JEE Advanced, JEE Mains, and separate rank B, BTech, are paper at IITs, NITs, IST, triple ITs, and other UFTIs for academic programs. Uh, now, first of all, discuss about division of seats into program section. Please kindly note down the page number, whatever I said. Please, Ravi, go to page number 9.
Uh, yeah.
Mm, all candidates, please mention the page number so that after session ending, you will must go through once. So, here, uh, all the 10 categories given here. So, check yourself where your category is falling, so that you are able to fill this category in your DOSA filling counseling. Okay. Like 10 category gender, AWS, OBC, NCL. You are seeing the screen. Okay. Please go to the slide.
Page number, Nacho.
Go to the slide.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, Candidates are advised to visit the institute website for clear applicable for JOSA 2020 and CSAT 2020 shall not be responsible for fee structure and fee waiver related rules applicable for individual institution. You take your class 12 certificate so that satisfy the performance in class 12 examination criteria. There is a criteria in JOSA counseling. Uh, I think this has been already discussed by my friend Siva. Filling in of choice on the online portal is free of cost. Candidates are not required to pay any fee. Okay. Ravi, please go to the page number 44. My audio is clear or not, Ravi Kumar?
It is a bit hazy.
Sorry, Sagar, to interrupt.
Okay.
Actually, your voice is quite muffled and it's coming very bad. Okay, so let me do one thing. I guess there is some problem with your earphone. Okay, so let me take over.
Okay, sir, my
And
slide
because
is complete. Please,
no,
sorry
because
for
we need to just revisit
my
for
voice
5
is
minutes.
not clear
Okay,
because I think my earphone is not working well.
that's all
Okay,
right. That's all
thank
right.
you.
But yeah, that was a really important slide. Okay, so what I will do is I'll just revisit the previous one. Okay, explaining a bit on that. Okay, so Ravi, can you just go to the previous slide itself? Okay, and I'll just try to. Okay, so I hope my voice is clear, guys. Right. So these are very important rules, right? Business rules, and I would suggest that every one of you should go through these rules by yourself once, right? This is really important, and if you face any issues in understanding this, we'll be really ready to help you guys. But the first and basic rule of this is you have to go through it once. Okay, whoever has gone through it, really good. Okay, you can understand all those things, really good. But it is advisable because it's your choice which is at risk, right? If they also expect you to go through all these business rules and then take up the decision, right? We are here to help you guys, but you should. It's compulsory for you guys to go and read the business rules. Okay, we cannot enhance it or like emphasize it more enough than telling all these things. Anyway, after that, what we like to highlight is that as you will be eligible. What is the eligibility criteria for all these things, right? As you can see the first point, right? So candidates who are qualified in JEE Advanced or JEE Mains and secured a rank in BE, BTech, BR paper at NIT, IIT, EIST, IIIT, and other GFTIs for academic programs. Okay, so these are for those candidates. Okay, the second point we are highlighting over here is for the purpose of seat allocation, qualified candidates are partitioned into different categories. So we have different categories, which Sagar told you in. It is also available in the business rules in the PDF, right? So you can go to certain page number which was mentioned. I guess it was 17 page number or 9 page number. You can go through that, and there is a table. You can see what is your category, in which category you lie upon. Okay, and accordingly you can make such decisions, right? When you see the previous rank, previous year ranks, and also they are also categorized as per the categories, right? So you will get to see all those things as well, right? In the third point, what we are saying is candidates are advised to visit the institute website for fee structure and fee waiver. It's not normal everywhere. Okay, what we do, what happens is every institute has their own fee structure, and depending on their what category you apply for or what category you lie upon, there are fee waivers as well. So we suggest you to go through the institute website. Okay, so let's say you are going for NIT Surathkal, you will go to NIT Surathkal website, check the fee structure for each year. Okay, the previous year, next year, and all those things. It will be available. Okay, and there you can make your choices. Okay, let's say that you have financial problems, you know. So accordingly, you will choose what choices you have, right? And there are fee waivers as well. There are scholarships as well. So you can search for those things depending on which institute you want to, right? And then there are other, let's say, the fourth point is satisfies the performance in class 12th or equality examination criteria. Filling in choices for online portal is free of cost. Absolutely right. This should be noted that filling of choices are free of cost because those charges had already been accounted for while filling the forms itself. Right. Candidates are not required to pay any fee. Right. So yeah, good enough. And in the next slide, Ravi, move to the next slide. Yeah. So in the next slide, we are just giving you the basic links, right? So these are all available if you visit the JOSA site, right? So these are easily accessible links, but we just thought of giving you all these things here. Obviously, it's not like copyable or pastable anywhere. But yeah, if you can search for business rules of JOSA in Google, also you will find some results accordingly. Then the schedule. These are important points which you should look for. First is business rule, then schedule of all the events, when is the first date, last date of each round, when is it opening, when is the mock results coming, also all those things you should be able to know, right? And then institutes admitting candidates through joint seat allocation. Okay, so this is the second part of that, I guess. Yeah, so these are important documents. We'll be sharing these documents in the group as well, but yeah, you should visit yourself as well once. Okay. That's all from this section. We'll move to the next section. Thanks, Ravi.
Yeah, thank you, Pierre. Moving to the next section. Uh, Here we will focus on how to choose any college or any branch, what to focus, what to prefer, and for this thing, I would like to call Mr. Gautam Raj, who will be discussing on this topic.
Hello.
Yeah, audible.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you, Ravi. So, hi guys, I'm Gautam Raj from NIT Trichy, currently pursuing BTech in Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. And yeah, so we were on the topic how to choose college or branch. So this is a very important topic. Actually, the reasons are obvious. Like, see, a single wrong choice leads to the frustration followed by depression and also and finally the students ends up with a poor academic performance and then dropping out of college. So these things are far from now. So yeah, that's why we need the right college and right branch which is as per our interest and all. So yeah, it matters a lot in the long run also. And then like you guys are going to give your 4 precious years and plus huge amount of money for college also, so then you must expect really good return on this investment, right? So that is why this topic is important. And yeah, Ravi, next slide. Yeah, so very first step is to know yourself actually. This step is ignored by most of the candidates, and that's why after 2 or 3 years of engineering they find out that they were interested in something else, but uh, due to the peer pressure or parental pressure they continued with something else. So that is why this step is really important. So there are basically I have categorized only 4 ways to know yourself. First thing is interest. So for interest, like most of you would not have any idea about your interest. Like while preparing for JEE Advance for IT JEE, we don't really get such time to explore ourselves. So but still you can figure out like if you were interested in electrical portion of the syllabus for JEE, so obviously you'll be interested in electrical also. So in this way you can find out your interest maybe. And then comes expectations, like what you are expecting from the college. Is it just the high package or your personal development also, or the culture of college you are looking for? Like there are it depends on a college. Some college has a really competitive culture that will really help you to cope up with the all the students. Yeah, so that will mold you for future also. And yeah, then comes long run plans. If you are preparing if you are planning for UPSC or any startups that you have in mind right now, or if you want to go for IIMs in future, so definitely you should take your decision accordingly. Because let's say if you want to do UPSC, then I would prefer college somewhere in Delhi, like lots of coaching are available there. So
these factors can be considered. And then comes financial conditions. So many of you would be having financial restrictions also, and so uh, obviously placement will be the need of the hour. And yeah, so these are the four categories which we should think about. And then comes the question, like, where do you want to see yourself after 4 or 5 years of engineering? So uh, there are mainly two categories. One category includes people who want to just see themselves in cubicle or office doing their regular job, or other kind of people may want to explore more, like yeah, so there are a lot of choices available for you. So yeah, next slide. Second step is to estimate your location on the previous year's cutoff. So in the group itself, we have asked for three tasks, right? So one of them was to estimate your location, basically. So yeah, I expect all of you would have gone through that. And yeah, so if you guys have figured out your interest in a specific branches, or so definitely it will be really easy for you to look for best institute that you can get with your rank. And yeah, if you don't have any interest in a specific, or so definitely you'll be confused with the many options available. So I think you should start with eliminating. In J also we had to do the same thing. If you don't know the answer, start eliminating the options that you have. So you can do the same thing here. Start eliminating the colleges based on various factors, like if you are preferring placements, so definitely colleges having low placements, you can cut that. Yeah, so next one. Then yeah, so there are four kinds of ranks, basically. Actually, there's no good or bad rank. It's just an these are just numbers. So yeah, so first thing is a good rank. It's super easy to select the colleges. If you have a really good rank, you will get what you want. Then comes average rank. Here comes the dilemma. Like, people are really confused, what should they prefer more, like should they prefer college over branch or branch over college. So we'll be discussing this also. And then low rank people with low rank, obviously they'll have to compromise with college, right? At this rank you won't get that good college, so you should not compromise with branch. It's a very obvious thing. And then comes people with very low rank. Then private colleges are also open for you. And it's not like if you are in private college you can't do better. You can do better. It's totally upon you. It depends on you how, like, whatever you will work for, you will be getting that. Okay, so next slide. Yeah, so what if I chose college over branch? Like, my preference is college, let's say. So there are a few advantages of getting into top college. So these are the things, like best resources you can get in these colleges, well qualified professors, brilliant peers, infrastructures like library or lab, or uh, yeah, so there are many aspects of resources. Then comes easy financial help. If you are getting admission into well reputed institutes, you can easily get loans and all. So you won't find it hard, actually. And then comes mentors and alumni support. Reputed college has a vast alumni network, actually. And this really helps in you know uh, I don't know about other colleges, but in my college, what they did was they made one separate committee of all the alumni, and they provide the scholarship to the department topper or top three people from each department. So in this was just an example. So like this only, alumni support helps. Or let's say if you have a startup idea or something, so you can also approach your alumni or mentors. They will definitely help. And yeah, so let's talk about this corona period only, like pandemic situation. So obviously all people will be, you know uh, not all people, like yeah, in reputed colleges also some people uh, lost their jobs. So but they had really good alumni support, so they can simply reach out to them, and they can refer to the companies and their supervisors. So in this way it helps at times. And then comes lots of opportunities irrespective of branches. So yeah, in good colleges, branches actually uh, does not matter that much, because most of the companies will be opening for all of you, but the competition will be hard. Like you'll be competing with the wider audience from like all the departments. So yeah, but yeah, you'll get opportunities far better than colleges with low status. Then yeah, gives you the right environment which mold your persona. So definitely in top colleges you will be getting really good peers, then brilliant minds to work with. They have good clubs, good culture, so that will help you in improving your soft skills like communication, team working, and these skills go on forever. Like money and all can be earned later, or like it can be earned anytime, but these skills takes a lot of time. So yeah, and then disadvantages of not getting into evergreen branches. So evergreen branches are, I mean to say, those branches who are constantly getting high packages, or a job is not a big problem for that branch. So those are evergreen branches. Like recently, these are CSE, IT, or artificial intelligence, and all. So these things. Mhm. And then yeah, so even if you are not into evergreen branches, and but the branch is of your interest. Let's say you got into some college with low status, and your department is metallurgy, then but still you are happy because you are really interested into metallurgy, so it's obviously good. But if not, then you'll have to bear it for 4 to 5 years, and that is something you'll have to uh, go through it for, unintentionally. So yeah, then for placements in software coding related companies, you'll have to study two subjects parallelly. So obviously people studying in civil or metallurgical department, or any other not so popular courses, definitely you will be studying codings and all, and you'll have to uh, study these two subjects parallelly on your own. So yeah, and the next thing is number of branch specific companies will be less. So if I talk about metallurgy, the companies are really less. For NIT Trichy itself, it is around like 5 to 6 companies for a specific metallurgy opens up, and then but yeah, other coding companies also open up. So yeah, but yeah, so that's what it is written over here. Compensated by companies opening for all branches. Yeah, so this is the thing. Next slide. I'm audible, right? The audio is clear. Okay.
Yeah, audible.
Fine. Yeah. Okay, so next situation is college. Let's say I preferred branch over college. So there are again advantages and disadvantages. And in advantages, definitely you'll be having good opportunity of placement, but still depends on how many companies visit the college. Let's say you got into NIT Srinagar, for example. I'm not targeting any specific college. I'm just putting an example. So if we get into that, and let's say companies are not visiting, so obviously you'll have to go for off campus placements. That too, if your branch is good, you will have a good number of options. Like obviously companies will be more, so you will have more options. But again, in off campus also, you will be competing with a large mass of students from all over India. So but still, if you are really good in that domain, so definitely you'll get your job, you'll get placed. And then yeah, so easy guidance is also available in evergreen branches. So you can find a lot of people who has like experience in that. So yeah, these are the advantages. And for disadvantage, obviously, so resources will be limited, and financial help not so easy. You'll have to uh, go to bank again and again maybe. And yeah, then average or weak mentors. With weak mentors, I don't mean to comment on their what do you say, educational status or something. Yeah, that is another thing. I just want to uh, clarify here that I'm talking about the connecting portal of them. Like uh, the connection between alumni are not that good. So next thing is opportunities are not good. So opportunities are good for a few branches only. So yeah, only CSE, IT, Triple E, these department will be getting good companies. And last thing is can't say about environment. You'll be driven by your own zeal to learn and grow. So yeah, like when I was in second year, I remember I got some news from northeastern states from NIT Arunachal, I guess. Few outsiders came inside the campus and they fought with the students. So I don't think you should go for those environment. So yeah, again, I'm not targeting anything, just an example. Next slide. Oh, wait, Ravi, wait. So yeah, another important thing is branch and college don't matter much after a few years of your job. Then your own experience will matter. Actually, whatever be the college or branch, it matters for the first placement only. Like while getting placed from the campus, it matters. But let's say you are from civil engineering and you got a placement in you got placed into, let's say, some coding related companies, and you worked hard for 2 years in that company, and now you have a experience of 2 years, and you can obviously apply for more better company, like more uh, companies in that domain. So yeah, it helps only till the first job. That's it. After that, the world is open for you. You can apply to whichever company you want. And yeah, so someone asked, like, should we choose branch or college? So we can't really say. We can just share our views, and it's up to you totally what to choose and what not. Yeah, so the dilemma of preferences, college or branch. So I would not say that you should go for college or you should go for these branches. It's up to you totally. We are just here, like, we can just guide you through it. Then yeah, so let's say you have the following colleges available with the mentioned branch in the table. Here is the possible ways to select colleges or branches. So let's say you are getting NIT Trichy and Surathkal, and Nagpur and Jaipur also. And yeah, so most sought after courses are CSE, IT, Triple E, EC, ICE, Maths, Computing, and then Chemical Metallurgy, Civil fall in the not so popular courses. And then yeah, so there are two cases basically. If you prefer branch over college, then your choice filling should look like this. Again, these are just examples. Don't copy and paste it in your choice filling. I'm just putting an example. So CSE, then IT, then chemical, and then meta. But if you are preferring college over branch, you'll have metallurgy in NIT Trichy, IT in NIT Surathkal, chemical CSE in NIT Jaipur. Yeah. So both cases have their pros and cons. So think accordingly. We have explained those points in previous slides. These slides will be provided also, I guess. So you can go through it again. Yeah, and then yeah, next slide. Hmm. Then there are still few more points to consider. See, the first thing is soft skills or scope of personal development. Many people see, again, this is generally ignored in college, and you are just focusing on coding and all, and you are not even caring about your on communication skill or team working skill. And when you went for the interview for any company and you were not even able to talk, so what was the use of all those codings? Interviews plays an important part, and yeah, so that's how it helps. And mhm. So, and yeah, so this was the first point. And second thing is placement factors. Generally, we see average package, which may mislead you. Sometimes it is misleading. I'm not saying it will mislead you for sure, but sometimes it mislead. Like if you talk about some private colleges, so yeah, if you talk about some private colleges, they show uh, good package, average package, but in a batch, of let's say 80 people, if 10 out of them are getting place like job of around let's say 20 LPA, then obviously their average will be high. And so instead I would prefer the median salary, like not go with the mean salary, that is average package. Go for median salary. And also you can check for the percentage of students getting placed in the batch. Higher the percentage, higher will be your chance to get placed. So yeah. And then third point is passion or interest. Passion or interest really, you won't find it now. Actually, you may think like this. Okay, money matters a lot. So first I'll go for money, then I'll pursue my passion or interest. But generally, what people do is after 2 or 3 years of job, they find it not interesting. So and they usually end up with the like they back off simply. Yeah. Then there are bonus facilities offered by a few colleges. So yeah, so first thing is flexible curriculum at few colleges. So uh, there there is a facility of minor course and major course. Major course that you are getting, the department you are getting through general admission process. So that will be your major course. And minor course will be after getting into that college. uh, some colleges will give you an option to pursue minor degree also, like in NIT Surathkal and NIT Trichy, they offer a minor course. And that too, in NIT Trichy there is no boundary or CGPA criteria and all, so you can simply uh, select any department of your own choice, be it CSE or ICE or Triple E or EC. Yeah. And then major course, as it is provided by all the colleges. And then hmm, colleges having a strong alumni network generally have a lot of scholarship opportunity. So yeah, I discussed it already. Can be considered by people with weak financial condition. Yeah. So if you are getting into the top college and you and the scholarships are really available there, so you can easily get it. You'll have to just apply for that, and yeah, based on your performance. Okay, so alumni means those people who studied in that college and are now in good position in some college, in some companies. Yeah, CSE or IT can be the minor course, not an issue. So yeah, third point is branch sliding. Branch sliding is you'll have to really work hard for this actually, because only a few students from like lower departments gets a chance to upgrade their branch. But still, don't go to any college in the hope of uh, upgrading your branch, because out of 80 people, let's say only one, rarely one will be allowed to upgrade their branch. So consider it uh, like ignore this basically. What can I say now? Okay, then next slide. Yeah. So then comes other optional factors while selecting college branch. So if you are how to check minority. Okay, cool. So UPSC, let's say you are aiming for UPSC, and that too IES, engineering service. There are two services, administrative and engineering services. So for UPSC IES examination, it allows only 4 branches: mechanical, triple E, ECE, and civil. That's it. If you are into metallurgical department, or if you are into ICE department, production engineering, so it won't be considered. So for sitting in, for appearing in this examination, you must have one of the 4 branches. And then if you're planning for appearing for CAT examination, that is to get admitted into IIMs, so college GPA, CGPA, and performance matters a lot. They go through the whole, performance from class 10 to your college grades, basically. Then GRE, GMAT, again, focus should be on English communication skills and grammar. So yeah, so obviously for GRE or GMAT, you should go somewhere where you will be compelled to, you know, learn those skills like communication or English, if you say. Or online coachings are also available wherever you are. It doesn't matter really. You can just focus on your online courses, but still, if you want it to come naturally, so definitely you should look location wise maybe. Okay, so triple E and E. Triple E is electrical and like EE refers to electrical engineering, and triple E refers to electronics and electrical engineering. So yeah, next thing is research and higher studies. Yeah, so again, if you are looking for researches and higher studies, so it will be really easy if professors have a good network with different professors pan India and abroad, and these good network will be available in well reputed institutes only. Otherwise you'll have to work hard to get your papers publicized. Yeah, so GMAT is for management, like going abroad for some colleges for management related. Yeah, you can Google these things. It's available easily. And then comes other examination, RBI or exams or etc. So yeah, college won't matter much, but having a tag of IITian or NITian may give you an edge in the interview, if any. So if you are sitting for RBI exams or railway examination, so it doesn't matter much. Just you'll have to prepare according to the syllabus. Yeah. So next slide, please. Hmm. Okay, so I'll just sum up the steps in short. So first thing was know yourself and your preferences. So think about all the departments, go through all the department syllabus. Yeah, for knowing the department, what you can do is to go through the syllabus of different courses that are being offered from let's say IIT Bombay or NIT Trichy or NIT Allahabad or whichever college it is. Download their syllabus and go through it. You'll get to know what exactly you'll have to study. So yeah, like in chemical engineering, you'll be more kind of focused on thermodynamics part, not in you won't be studying the organic chemistry that you had in JE syllabus. In fact, metallurgy department has a lot more chemistry than chemical department. And yeah, so next thing is locate yourself in previous year's opening and closing rank list. This is again an easy task, but uh, many people don't do it. I don't think. Okay, what is electrical engineering? Mm. Okay, so if you are getting what you aimed for, so again, if no interest in specific branches and you are confused with the many available options, so then start eliminating among the options that you have. If interested in specific branches, look for best institutes that you can get with your rank. Yeah. And fourth is if you have to compromise between college and branch, think about the plus and minus points and take an independent and wide decision. Yeah. So actually, this fourth point, you'll have to do many stuffs like you can talk to students who are already studying in that college or in that department. So they'll give a clear cut idea what to do and what not to do. And yeah, so if after figuring out the plus and minus points, you are good to go. Then fifth, point is arrange the available options. Institutes with top priority according to you should be at the top of the choice filling list. Yeah, so again, yeah, this was it. So thank you. Can just one question just hold. That was, can we go for an inviting? Yeah, you can go for that. No, not an issue. In UPSC, IAS also. Okay, so for IES you can't sit with chemical department. For IAS you can go. Okay, this was it. Thank you, Ravi, for giving me the opportunity. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
thank
we'll
you.
move ahead with yet another speaker.
Moving
Thank
ahead,
you.
like right now, we have seen several things, many points. We will be sharing these slides with you all so that you can get through once again. And now we will be discussing on what factors should be considered while choosing the colleges. And for this, I would like to call Mr. Swati Kumari here.
So, hello everyone. First of all, I'd like to congratulate everyone who appeared for JEE Mains and Advance, and wish you all the best for your career. So, first of all, let me introduce myself. So, I am Saraswati Kumari, a final year undergrad student from MNIT Allahabad. I am pursuing BTech in Information Technology. So, today I'll be sharing some factors that need to be considered while you're choosing the college and the branch. While Gautam has shared few tips with you, like how to compare between college and branch, how to select them, but I'll be sharing some more tips that you need to keep in mind while you are filling your choice. So, first of all, like many of us don't know like what a particular branch consists of, how do professors teach in the college, what are the research facilities that are available in that particular college. So for these kind of doubts, you can always contact any senior from that college and he will easily tell you everything about your doubts. So like if you have any doubts related to NIT 3G, then you can search on Facebook or LinkedIn. You might not be aware of LinkedIn, but for now, like you know about Facebook, then you can contact there too. Like most of us are free and available too, so they'll be happy to answer all your queries. The next point is location can be a factor while choosing, but it shouldn't be the only factor. Like I shouldn't choose a college just because it's too near to my home, because even if it's too near to your home, you won't be able to visit like more than 3-4 times to your home. So location shouldn't be the only factor while you're choosing the college. Like Gautam discussed about evergreen branches, like they are computer science, information technology, and some other circuit branches. But let me tell you, you don't have to go crazy over these evergreen branches. First of all, you have to ask yourself, are you interested in that branch or not? If you are not interested, first explore interested in anything, or you don't know what consists of that branch. So you can always contact the senior and then decide which branch you want to take, as the branch will stay with you for all the 4 or 5 years with you in your college. So you should consciously decide which branch you want to take and do the choice filling accordingly. Like I mentioned, you can always contact the seniors from any college. So yeah, we will always be happy to answer all your queries. Like the next point is, most of us know about the Bachelor of Technology programs, but like the MTech dual degree program is not so famous, but it's also a good program, and you shouldn't be shy towards opting for dual degree programs. It just takes you one extra year than the normal Bachelor of Technology programs, and gives you MTech degree along with your BTech degree. Now, Ravi, can you move to the next slide? Okay. Like Gautam earlier discussed, branch change is possible in some colleges, but you don't have to rely on it. Like there are many factors on which branch change depends. Like you shouldn't take like biochemistry in IIT Bombay just because you think that you'll slide in the next year, because there might not be any available seat in that branch. You might not have such good grades. Uh, like it may be possible that the college doesn't allow branch sliding. So many factors are there for branch change, and also you have to get fairly good grades so that branch change is possible even if the branch change is allowed in that particular college. So like we are already telling in the JOSA group that you have to research a bit, you have to locate yourself in opening and closing rank list, you have to explore about different colleges, you have to explore about interests, you have to read the business rules PDF. So yeah, we want you to do a bit of groundwork before you fill the choices. Like already mentioned, like if the college is old, it has a good alumni network, you will have scholarships which are easily available. So if the college is old, you'll have many different advantages. And also if the department is old in that college, then also the faculty will be more experienced enough, and you will be able to learn more and more from them. So like you need to know few things, like many colleges might be very new or maybe added to JOSA just a few years back. Many branches may be very new, they might be added just a few years back. So you have to explore about them. Like mm, uh, it's not bad to choose any newly introduced branch, but you should explore the what's the uh, is that branch good enough in that college. Was the after the branch was introduced, what is the growth rate of that branch, how are the placements of that new branch in that college. So you have to do a bit of groundwork before you fill them in your choices. Another thing is, not everyone has a very good rank, but we have some ambitions always. Like everyone prefers to take computer science in IIT Bombay, but not everyone can get that, right? So uh, the thing is, you don't have to hesitate to fill in your first choice. Like it's my ambition, I'll fill it. Like it may be quite possible that by luck or something I get that. So never hesitate to fill your most ambitious seat in the first choice while you are filling. Josa will ignore that choice if you are not able to get it without because of your rank or any other reasons. Now coming to the placement statistics, like not everyone has to worry about the placement statistics, because you may be opting for higher education or some general competitions or government jobs or anything like that. So but if you are in circuit branches, most of the students want good placement after they complete the 4 years of bachelor of technology or whatever they have opted for dual degree. So if your main aim is to get a job, then you must check for the placement statistics of that college for last few years. Like I said last few years because of corona, many the placement statistics of a few colleges might be very down because of corona, not because they always have very bad stats. So better is that you visit last few years placement statistics of that college, and if you have a decided branch, then specifically look for the placement statistics of that particular branch in that college. Like it was earlier mentioned that you shouldn't go for the highest package or even the average package too. Like the highest package can be 1.5 crores. That doesn't mean that you will be getting a 1.5 crore package after you complete your 4 years program. That has a very few chance. So you don't have to go gaga over the highest package that the college is providing, because that highest package person most probably won't be you. So and also like it was earlier mentioned that we should go for the median package. Like what is the package most of the people get here. But the problem is you won't be able to access the median salary on the college websites. They only mention their highest packages and the average packages. So if two or three, or if only two or three people have secured jobs worth 1.5 crore CTC, even then the average package will go high. So that will deviate you from the median salary or what the average students from that college are getting in their hands. So but as the median salary is not available on websites, so you can go for average package. Now next comes the ranking. Like generally in terms of ranking, most of you might have heard the NIRF ranking. So it's organization that gives rank to all the colleges on basis of many things like the faculty, the alumni, the clubs, the departments, the professors, the or many things like infrastructure. So you don't have to pay heed to any sort of rankings, because these kind of ranks might be pretty misleading, because like they might place some private colleges over the old IITs too. Like recently, I saw VIT above IIT BHU. So this is quite misleading. So never go over these kind of rankings. Now, Ravi, please go to next slide. Okay, so like I earlier mentioned, the age of institute decides the quality of alumni, the faculty of that branch, and also the scholarships and all your reach. So if the college is old, then it's more established in terms of faculty and placements. While if the college is new, then the faculty might not be so good. The placement statistics might be not so good. There may be very few branches in that college. And also if you are interested in general competitions like UPSC CAT, then you have to choose a more developed city where you may find better coaching institutes. Like if you go to not so good city, then you might not be able to get coaching institutes for you. But it's for sure that you will get online coaching still. But if you want offline coaching, it's easily accessible in developed cities. Like in Delhi, generally people go to prepare for UPSC. So if you want offline coaching or more guidance about these general competitions or higher education, it's better for you to go to more developed city. Now coming to the branch slide once again. Like if you are aiming for a branch slide, like by mistake you took some, like by mistake or say because of low rank, you couldn't be able to get your favorite branch. So there's always a chance, there may be the college may be allowing you for branch slide. So if the college is allowing you branch slide, then you can always opt for it. Like in some cases it's not always upgrading. Like a few people may also want to slide from computer science or circuit branches to non circuit branches. It's also possible. So first of all, you have to check if the college allows for branch slide or not, and what are the policies of that college in for branch sliding. uh, every college has a different rule. But generally 4 to 5% of total strength of students are able to slide in newer branch according to their interest or what they are able to get. Like if they want to get only circuit branches, they will fill all the circuit branches, and whatever they get, they are satisfied with it. So it depends on the college policy if they allow you for branch slide or not. And there may be some minimum grade criteria that you have to follow for a branch slide, but not all colleges follow this. So you have to better you go to their website or contact seniors from that college and know the policy of that particular college. Now coming to like if you get not so good NITs or not so good IITs, then if you get lower branches, then most probably it's very easy to slide to better branches. Like in new IITs, in new NITs, it's comparatively easy to slide to uh, your favorite branch. Now next thing is the legal thing, the whole all the important things, all the rules and regulations, everything is written there in the website of JOSA, that is josa.nic.in. So if you have any query regarding to rules or any confusion that you are not able to understand, so you can always contact CSAP or JOSA office through phone or email. If you have any doubt, they really help. So this is a point that has been covered earlier too, and we have also told you in the group that you have to locate yourself in the opening and closing rank of last year. So that will be easy for you to for in the choice filling. Now we have only 3 more points to cover. So there may be different kinds of cutoff when you see the cutoff. Like it may be category wise cutoff, it may be home state cutoff, it may be other state cutoff. It may be girls cutoff, it may be a gender neutral cutoff, it may be OBC NCL cutoff. So you have to locate yourself in that too. Like the only one rank you are seeing is not the one. It may be you may have to explore like which category you lie in and your home state or other state. So you have to locate yourself accordingly. Never forget to check fee structure. Generally, all IITs have the same fee structure, and all NITs have the same fee structure. All triple ITs have same fee structure. All GFTIs have the same fee structure, but you need to check them once. It may be like you want to opt for less fee colleges, so you have to check the fee structure of that particular college. Also check that the college allows for major minor structure or not. Like if you can't get your favorite college, sorry, if you can't get your favorite branch in a particular college, then if that college allows for major minor structure, then you can always take your favorite branch as your minor and you will get degree in that. So you have to check if the college allows for major minor structure or not. You also have to check branch changing option is there in that college or not. And one more important thing, like not everyone has so good rank. So if you are not able to get into all the popular IITs, all the popular NITs, triple ITs or GFTIs, then you can also opt for state government colleges. They are also good. Like you might have heard of DTU, NSUT, IET. These are few state government colleges that are like comparable to some of the IITs too. So you should visit them while you are uh, doing your counseling. That's all from my side. Thank you, Ravi.
Yeah, thank you for all your insights. And it will surely help all the students in selecting various colleges and branches. And now coming forward, we will get to know some info about various new colleges which had been included in the recent year, in past recent years. So for this, I would like to call Ms. Shruti Nanda, and she will be introducing various new colleges to all of you. You're audible. You can continue. Yeah.
So, hello friends, I am Nanda pursuing BTech degree in Information Technology from Indian Institute of Information Technology, Allahabad. So, next slide. Okay, so first of all, I would like to talk about IITs. There are three types of IITs. First generation IITs or older IITs. You can take lower branches in them with no hesitation, and then it comes second generation IITs. It started in 2009, and then come third generation IITs, and mm, five third generation IITs have not their permanent campus as of now. Like IIT Goa run in the campus of Goa Engineering College. Next slide. And one thing more, the above list does not rank colleges in any order. It is just a list of colleges that how many colleges are second generation and third generation. It is not ordered according to their rank. And second, I will like to talk about triple ITs. There are total 26 triple ITs, out of which 4 are old triple ITs, which are well established as of now. And except these 4 colleges, all are established after 2013. And 11 triple ITs don't have their own campus. They run on other institute in other institute like the classes of triple IT Trichy run in NIT Trichy, and they are also mentored by other colleges as of now, like as for example triple IT Bhagalpur is mentored by IIT Guwahati. And the same point again, the above list of colleges is not based on any rank, it is just a list of colleges. Now coming to NITs, there are total 31 NITs as of now, and there are total 11 IITs which don't have their own campus. These are NIT Arunachal Pradesh, NIT Mizoram, NIT Delhi. They don't have their own campus, and these are new NITs. Okay, next slide. Okay, so one thing more, I would like to talk about growth rate of new colleges. As you can see, the average salary at Gandhinagar, Mandi and Indore IITs have increased about 18% year on year to rupees 11 to 16.3 lakh in latest placement season. Means they are growing at a very fast rate, as you can know, as you already know, because IITs get a high fund from MHRD. And now, and especially colleges which are located in tier 1 city have very high growth rate. Example, triple IT Lucknow, triple IT Bangalore, triple IT Hyderabad. Even any college in these tier 1 cities will have a very high growth rate. As you one point I would like to mention, average placement of triple IT Lucknow in 2019 was 12 lakh per annum, but in 2020 it is jumped to 90 lakh per annum. It is just because of city, tier 1 city, example Lucknow, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Bombay, Delhi. Okay, so now I will like to talk about pros and cons. Pros: you may get good branches in new colleges. Yeah, and also one thing more, that branch sliding is very easy in these colleges as they are new. You can easily change your branch there, and most of the professors are young and enthusiastic, so it is also a beneficial point. And infrastructure are new in these colleges, so you can get better accommodation facilities. Like, yeah, many colleges don't have their own infrastructure, but new colleges which have their own infrastructure, these are really good. And you are valued more in new college. Yeah, it is a point, I think. You are valued more in new colleges. Like for example, uh, professor will hear you, professor will acknowledge you, but in older colleges you will not get that much of value. So of course it is a plus point. And consequences: first, less number of branches are available. Yeah, in new colleges there are less branches available, and in triple IT also there are very less branch available. Like for example, in my college, triple IT Allahabad, there are only 3 branch: IT, ITBI and ECE. Some of the colleges also do not have their fully developed infrastructure of campus, and club extracurricular are not so developed, though it exists. Yeah, matlab, like for example, if club or extracurricular activities are there in new college, it is very easy to get entry in them. But you can do nothing when there are not any club or extracurricular activities in these colleges. And this is a very obvious point, that alumni network is not as strong as old colleges, as because number of alumni will be less because they are new. And some tips, yeah, please consider them properly. Prefer second generation IITs only if you are getting good branches like CSE, IT and EE, electronics and communication. As per the previous data, don't prefer second generation IITs over older NITs. Prefer only when you are getting CS and IT, and try to avoid going to third generation IITs. Yeah, as they most probably don't have their own campus. Okay, so next slide. Okay, so now Vikas Bhaiya will continue.
Yeah, thank you, Shruti. So right now we have seen several new colleges have been included in the list, in which you can get admission through JOSA counseling, and you just explore those colleges, because some of them have less infrastructure, some of them have being mentored by other colleges. So just select the colleges wisely. Now we will move forward. We will tackle some questions which have been asked by students in the Google form which we shared, and this will be tackled by Mr. Vikas Kumar. I would like to invite him here. He is currently serving as software engineer as Bajaj Finserv, and he is an alumni of IIT Kharagpur.
Yeah, thank you, Ravi. Am I audible?
Yeah, audible.
So,
So
so I recently
yes,
graduated from IIT Kharagpur, and I am working currently at Bajaj Finserv as a software engineer. So let's go to the queries.
Yeah, as you know, Bhaiya ki students are very curious about many things. So they have asked several questions. Like here we have our first question that reservation has been increased from 4 to 10%. So how will it affect the ranking trend?
So obviously, when the reservation is increased, so your seats will increase in respective colleges. So looking onto that, looking on that, the opening and closing rank will shift accordingly. So you can see a shift in those opening closing rank according if this is true. So the
Yeah,
next question is it
and
clear?
yeah. I think those who have asked these questions are present here, and
Okay, so actually the question states that the reservation in EWS category has increased from 4 to 10%.
okay, yeah.
So in this case, the seats in all the departments of all the colleges will increase. And according to that, you will get more better branch at far rank from the previous year. Okay.
And
Yeah, I
so
am from mechanical, but you may also have heard that I am software engineer at Bajaj Finserv. So it was due to my college which provided me opportunity to explore myself and while exploring, I explored that I am interested in coding and something like that. So now I'm working as a software engineer at Bajaj Finserv. So is that okay? Please check this information if has really increased or not. The reservation maybe it has not increased or maybe it has increased. I didn't find any official notification on the net.
yeah,
So
since it was asked from a student side, that's why we are here querying this.
yes.
So student has asked that earlier, like 5 year earlier or somewhat. I think all India counseling was another counseling session, and state counseling was done separately. So how this year it will be done? Like only one or state wise or something?
This year also only 111 colleges are participating in JOSA counseling, and rest other colleges will be allotted through either colleges counseling or some colleges also have their separate counseling process like Chandigarh group of colleges. And yes sir, Jack is done for state counseling like DTU, NSIT, you can get through Jack.
Yeah, there are several counseling boards in India,
You can
like
go through that counseling board and rules, you will get that. Okay. So for now, it is there. The state counseling board is there. CAC is there. You can go through their website. What are their rules and regulations? What are eligibility? You can go through that.
And the third question says that in the first round, the student had got something better college, but he is opting for something more better. And if we don't get, so will he have the
Yes.
first option?
So this problem arises when you are not clear about the options freeze, float, and slide. So I will confirm. Are you clear about the options float, freeze, and slide, or should I explain that separately? Hello.
I think it should be cleared once more.
Actually, someone when okay. Someone interrupted while one was explaining about the float freeze. So, and asked to explain in Hindi. So I
Okay,
will
okay.
go through this question in Hindi. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically what you have, अगर आपको फर्स्ट राउंड में कोई एक सीट अलॉट होती है, like just like you get some mechanical engineering in NIT Surathkal. Okay. So and you go for float. Float is like तुम आगे आगे राउंड में तुम पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहते हो एंड सारे कॉलेज को कंसिडर कर रहे हो, सारे कॉलेज में अपग्रेड हो सकता है, ठीक। तो इसमें होता क्या है, अगर तुम्हें ऊपर का प्रेफरेंस की कोई सीट नहीं अलॉट होती है तो यू हैव योर प्रीवियस चॉइस विद यू। ओके, अगर तुम्हें ऊपर के कॉलेजेस तुम्हारे जो अभी के अलॉटेड चॉइस है उसके ऊपर के कॉलेजेस नहीं मिलते नेक्स्ट राउंड में, तुम्हें वो चॉइस है तुम्हारे पास, तुम्हारे पास वो अभी भी है। but if you get any another college in the next round, obviously it will be the upgraded version, the one you filled at the top from the previous choice. Okay, so in that case तुम्हें क्या होगा, जो नया वाला अलॉट हुआ है वो तुम्हारा फुल फाइनल होगा। ओके, जो नया वाला अलॉट हुआ है तो वहां पे वो तुम्हारा सीट होगा, तुम्हारे पास चॉइस नहीं होगा उस केस में कि तुम दोनों में से कौन सा लोगे, तुम्हें अपग्रेडेड वाला ही लेना पड़ेगा। दिस इज बिकॉज तुम्हें जो सीट प्रेफरेंस भरने के लिए दिया जाता है, चॉइसेस भरने के लिए दिया जाता है, उसमें स्ट्रिक्टली मेंशन किया हुआ है कि तुम्हें जो भी हाईएस्ट प्रेफरेंस का चीज है, जो भी हाईएस्ट प्रेफरेंस वाला ब्रांच और डिपार्टमेंट कॉलेज है वो ऊपर भरे। ओके, so is it clear now? Same goes for the slide option, but in the same college. Okay.
Should we come to the next question? I think.
You will not get a slide option if you don't have any option of the same college after above your current choice. So what is the next question?
Yeah.
Okay, it's again Jack. So it is obviously upon you whether you should go through Jack or not, which college you are getting through Jack and which college you are getting through JOSA counseling. You can always compare those, and you can also do counseling on both platform, and when you get sit you can opt to choose one. Like they generally don't ask much money to participate in counseling. Like as far as I remember, in my times it was like 2000 for participating in the counseling, and if you accept the seat then you have to pay some amount like 30,000-40,000. But just to check what you are getting in that counseling, you have to pay just 1 or 2,000. So that is, I think, that risk is you can take, I think.
Very good question. The next question, whoever has asked, was the biggest confusion for me even. So he wants to know that whether college tag matters in future or not. Like I am an IIT alumni or something like that. So how does it matters?
Okay, so it has been addressed before also, but I'm telling you again. So your the job or your college name matters only till first second job, and after that your experience counts more. If you have done really well job at your previous firm and you want to shift to another company, switch to another job, they will look for your previous experience first, and then if there are two candidates of the same level of skill, then they go some college preference like thing, but it generally doesn't matter after you say 5 or 6 years of your job.
Yeah,
Is it
so
clear?
I think it should be clear now. College thing, college tag name. And one person is asking like his domicile is from Delhi since he has done schooling from Delhi, and his OBC certificate is from Bihar. So home state applicable or not in OBC in NIT Delhi?
Actually, in this case, you have to produce a domicile certificate, and OBC certificate is central certificate. The one you know is a state certificate is EBC in Bihar. Or if you talk about Bihar, it's EBC, which is state level category certificate. But if you talk about OBC, it is central level category certificate. So if you have domicile of Delhi, since you have appeared for 12th board from Delhi, you can get a domicile from Delhi. So you will get that benefit.
Yeah, since you are competing at national level, so everything will be at national level. Your certificate, your domicile reason. Yeah. Next out is if I apply in JOSA until round 5 and withdraw there, will I have to pay separate fee for CSAB? Uh,
Yes, actually, I visited the CSAB website when I saw this question about CSAB. So there is no business rule till now, but I will answer based on my previous experience from my colleagues and all. So when you withdraw your seat, you will get refund as per the business rules of JOSA. And as far as I know, to participate in CSAB round, you have to pay the counseling, the pay the seat acceptance fee beforehand to participate in the CSAB round. And also one more point to mention, if you are taking admission in NIT and you wish to go for CSAB round, you must take yes while taking admission that you will go for CSAB round. Otherwise, they will not consider you for CSAB round and you will not be notified.
yeah.
Okay.
So both are separate thing, mainly JOSA and CSAB. And next question is again related to CSAB. Like if the person don't withdraw in JOSA till last round, so will he get the refund money or not?
Okay, if you have got any seat, then only there is some case of withdrawal or not. If you haven't got any seat, there is no case of withdrawal since DOSA is not taking any money for filling choices and participating in the counseling, right? So let's suppose you have got some seat at some NIT and all, and then you don't want to take that seat. So if you can even get this point in the withdrawal rule of seat withdrawal rule and seat cancellation rule of the business guidelines. And as far as I understand, I understood that what is that? I don't. So if you don't take admission in your allotted college, your seat gets cancelled, and JOSA refunds the money apart from the processing fee of 2,000 rupees. And I'm not sure about if you are eligible, if you will be eligible for JEE next year or not. Please go through the business guidelines for this.
So, someone is asking like, should we prefer going to Northeast NITs? Obviously there is a band which we define the tiers, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, right? So if you feel that you are getting as we mentioned with an example, right? So if you feel that or you are getting good courses over there or good stream which you are interested in, then there is no worry, you can go, right? There are other factors like location factor is also there. You might have to travel each semester from your hometown to Northeast, right? How comfortable you are going every semester here and there, right? If you location is a preference for you, then that becomes a factor for you, right? Then as Northeast NITs are not in tier one, right? So you might make decisions on that as well, right? I'm not saying that they are not good. One of my friends from my batch itself, he was there in IIT Agartala and he's doing good right now, right? He is like relatively comparable with me as well right now. So I don't see any problem in going to any colleges. It all comes down to how well you want to use that 4 years when you are there.
So there was a lot of queries about ICE department. So that's an extension, that's a sub-department of electrical and electronics department. And so in most of the cases, not sure in all cases, in most of the cases, you will get that opportunity which are offered for which are available for the circuit department or the electrical department and ECE department. So all all that they get, you will be getting through your department. So looking through the course structure, it is generally mix of instrumentation. Sorry, you don't know instrumentation. It's mix of electrical thing and electrical and communication thing, and there is some course of like CSE also. And you may also be knowing that there is some course of CSE in electrical and ECE also. So that's also here in this department. So instrumentation and control and industrial department are two different departments, and both are sub-department of two different departments. So instrumentation and control department is a sub-department of electrical and communication engineering, and industrial and production department is a sub-department of mechanical engineering, which generally teach you optimization methods in manufacturing and all. This was for industrial department and production.
Okay, I guess I want to highlight one point because all the questions come is like they want to compare two branches from two different colleges, right? So I would like to ask a few questions on that, like as a kind of question back, right? How are you going to compare? Are you compare with the opportunities of the placement or future studies, or what kind of things you want to compare with? Because these factors may go up for one branch and down for another branch, right? So these things are not comparable at all, right? It becomes your interest, right? What your future aspects are. So you should be able to make a choice like that. If you are interested in CS, then you should go for CS, right? If you are getting a CS, obviously. Right, if you want to do something in civil, right, civil is not a bad branch, right? But these days we all decide all these things about the when you get the opportunity, placement opportunities or not, right? Because even our parents want us to get placed just after 4 years, right? Even 3 years we want them to like start earning money and all those things, right? These are the expectations of the parents. But what do you want to do? Do you actually want to see yourself working just after 4 years, or you have some future aspects of going for higher education, right? If you have a future aspect of going for higher education, then go for such department which has a better scope in higher education, right? If you want to go for doing MS in abroad, right, you should go in such colleges where you will have the exposure, where you will meet people who are going for higher education abroad, right? Let's say that you go to some college where everyone's mind itself is like directed towards just job, right? They are not worrying about going for higher education or doing MS outside the country, right? Then you will not get the environment what you wanted, right? So search for those things which actually matter for you. These are career changing things. This will change your whole career, right? Whole life as well, because your life is like 80% of your career, right? So yeah, those things will be there. So decide accordingly. And again, I'm saying, right, if you even fail to decide right now, you will get chances. Okay, do not succumb to the things like, okay, I was getting CS but I got meta here, I wanted to do CS but I got meta here, right? So do not succumb to those things. You will get enough opportunity in your life, right? These are a few drawbacks which comes in the life, but you should not just lean back and leave the ground. Okay, you have to fight for it. Right, so the whole life goes like that only. You have to
Yeah,
fight for things which you want,
yeah, this is
right?
important, very important. Don't don't feel like we got this and my friend with the similar rank got this department and that department is better and my department is not so good. This is not the case. In a good college, there are various opportunity, and obviously NITs and IITs are considered good colleges.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there are
don't
various
go for the
opportunity you will get.
immediate. Yeah,
Yes.
don't go for the immediate result, right? Let's say that consider these ranks as the amount of money you are given, right? And then you're buying some stuff, right? So you and your friends will buy some stuff. Some things will go bad like let's say that your mobile got bad quickly and his mobile is still running, right? So you cannot just say that I should have taken that mobile and my life would have been better, right? What you have to see is how long of a term you are seeing as a future aspect. If you are deciding right now, is it going to be worth it or not? Are you making your own decision even better than what you could have done before, right? Just those things we are trying to tell. Okay.
So it was really nice to interact with most of you. And if you have any doubts, like again, so you can contact on the contact number and email ID which we have provided. And just I would suggest from my side that mock counseling is going to happen, like 2 round of mock counseling. So just fill up your choices in 2 days, and then just see the mock counseling result. It will not be the final one. You will get to know the process. Okay, so do participate in it, because I missed mock counseling participation in my year. That's why I'm telling you. So and best of luck for your future, and I hope you all get prestigious colleges and your preferred branches. So we are ending this session here.